Aaron Fenskog blinked twice and shouted, "You're an idiot. You can't eat a talking bunny." "Listen," replied Ryder Rentier, but then he didn't say anything, he just nodded his head to his own thoughts. "Of course you can," said Benny Raditz. "And Aaron, since she didn't used to be a talking bunny, I'd like to know why she is one now." His right upper lip flinched in a flash of a sneer. Aaron said, "You should get that tick looked at." "You know the answer. I was hungry for some stew, so I just used a little of Grandma's magic powder on a runaway." "Can I speak?" asked Bonnie Bunny, the most beautiful brown rabbit you could have ever seen. "No," shouted all the men. "You didn't give her enough," said Benny. "She can still talk." "Yes, but enough makes them too small and gamey. I can just snatch one of those up at the market if that's what I wanted," said Aaron. "You won't like me. I'm not a good eating rabbit. I'm a much better friend. Shall we give that a go?" Bonnie had jumped into the windowsill, but at 5.5 stone, she was also the biggest bunny you could have ever laid your eyes on. "How long have you had this one?" asked someone. Bonnie's ears flattened. "Couple years," asked the third man. "No, more like a couple months," said Aaron. "Bonnie, please don't lean on that glass. You're going to fall through," yelled Aaron. "Perfect," she squealed back. "You've got a whole lawn full of lunch out there. Beautiful, lush, dark green with quite a few dandelions. I can see them all from here." She stopped to rub her face with both paws and lick her digits, like bunnies do. "So why did you want to eat me? Before you turned me into a rabbit." Bonnie glared at them all in turn. But no one answered. "I was just a 10-year-old English girl with a little brother and 2 parents from Mumbai. None of you even likes Indian food, I'll bet," she pleaded. Benny said, "We like French and thought you'd fit the recipe, so you just decided to cannibalize the English girl." And you all agreed. Bonnie looked out of the window, but also at the glass of the window pane. The more than 100-year-old frame looked sad and weak. She pressed her forepaws to it and listened to a little creak, one ear rounded on that hopeful tune. Ryder said, "Well, we were out of chickens." Benny nodded. "I could round some up," he said. Bonnie nodded too. "Now there's a good idea." She licked the sides of her mouth and shook her head slightly. "I can't believe these teeth." Her nose bounced up and down as bunny noses do, but it also widened a bit more than usual and for a second longer, testing the air in the room. Her stomach churned at the imagined smell of chicken curry, but it's better than eating me, she thought. She brushed the fur of her face with both forepaws again. "Or you could try rats instead. There are plenty in the chicken coop now. I smell them in there. Why don't you clean out the coop? By the way, they're eating the chicken poo." With that, she punched her way through the glass and sprinted across the huge lawn towards the woody end of the yard. She dodged to and fro as she went. "I hate rats," said Aaron. Ryder was running for the rifle on the wall. "Stop," shouted Aaron. Benny loaded his pistol, and that funny tick that was more of a sneer hit his right upper lip again. "But will she turn back?" asked Ryder. "Once human again in some hours, no English person will believe her. Besides, she thinks she's 10. Benny shook his head, squinting his eyes into a space in the thin air of the room. "She's aged about 7 years per month in rabbit years. She's closer to more like 23 by now because of Grandma's magic bunny powder." Benny said, "They'll pop her straight into an asylum." "Aaron, if she finds her parents, they're not as English as the rest of them," said Benny Raditz, "and they will come for us." Aaron sighed. He knew Benny was right. Still, he was tired of the killing and tired of eating rabbit too. He sighed a couple times before he waved a hand at Ryder dismissively. Ryder ran, gun in hand, popping off a couple rounds as he darted out the same window. Aaron wondered if their lunch bunny would make it this time. "Oh, come on," said Benny. Aaron said, "One of us hunting rabbits is one thing, ha ha ha, but 2 might draw more attention than we'd like. Look, I can't have that." Bonnie, after diligently searching, found the one familiar-smelling door in the village and scratched at it. Her father opened the door, and she scampered inside. He was speaking, but no sound came out. His wife, Bonnie's mom, walked in from the kitchen. "Who is it?" she asked, crossing the room to kiss his cheek. He still couldn't speak, but pointed to the giant brown rabbit curling up to their daughter's black cat. Bonnie nuzzled her black cat's back left paw, and her darling black cat must have known her because it purred. It was the only key that has ever worked to get the black cat to purr ever. Her dad said, "She's so familiar." "It's huge. Do we know this bunny?" her mom asked. "It knows us," her dad said. "I'm finally home," said Bonnie in a voice a bit more human than a squeak, just before a gentle tap sounded through the solid front door.